We are live. I am so excited to share this mini training with you all live on Instagram. So we're answering the question, do you need a niche? Do you need a niche for your business? Do you need a niche for your spa? And if so, how do you choose your niche? How do you go about choosing what it is that you focus on? And this message is especially for those of us who are multi-passionate, those of us who feel like we have so many different things to offer to our clients or offer to different people that we work with in the spa industry. And for those people, I want you to kind of open up your mind a little bit, because we're talking about how do you narrow down on choosing one service or two services or three services and really giving those services all that you have. And so I got my virtual eyelashes on, I got my little filter on, and we're just gonna kind of dive into this training. Okay, so choosing your niche. Do you need a niche? First of all, that's a question that comes through a lot, especially like in the DMs or comments on YouTube and things like that, or even if I'm working with a new business owner, this question will come up. And from my personal journey, yes, it is really helpful. It's a great tool if you do have a niche. In other words, if you have an area of specialization that you can go into, such as cupping, such as prenatal massage, such as, what else is there? Lymphatic drainage massage, athletes. There's so many different niches that you can go into when it comes to this field of massage therapy and body work and things like that. And so we're really answering the question, do you need one? And if so, how do you choose that niche? So my straightforward answer is yes. Having a niche is a great tool because it allows you to specialize in something and really attract your clients. So let me just share a little bit about my journey. When I first started my business, I did not have any particular thing that I specialized in. I didn't specialize in anything. I was doing like deep tissue. I was doing like Swedish. I was doing like 2-hour sessions. I was doing a lot of different things. And I didn't really have like a particular area specialty. And if you know a little bit about my journey, when I first started my business, I stopped a couple of months into it because I wasn't seeing a lot of traction. I didn't have the mindset. There was just so many things wrong with that equation. But you know, the second time around, I did focus on one particular area of specialty, which was manual lymphatic drainage. And if you're familiar with that type of massage, there's so many different things you can go into it. Oh, I see some students on here. Awesome. Hi, welcome. And when you come in, feel free to say what type of massage you do, if you have a business, anything about yourself. I would love to see that. And so when I started the second time around, I did focus on one area of specialty. I got training in it. I got certified, and it was something that I did a lot of research on. And as soon as I switched over to choosing just offering one type of service, that's when I feel like a light switch came on, because now people are seeking me out for that service, especially now that I'm getting Google reviews that mention that service, now that other people are referring me about that service, now that I'm able to really position myself as the go-to provider for that service. And so let's get into kind of the how to choose your niche, because we already kind of covered why you need one. And let me kind of cover that again. Thank you for saying that. She said, you are awesome. And so some of the reasons why you would need one is because, you know, for me, it's the best way to attract clients. Because you're saying, I'm the expert in this thing, you should come to me for this thing. So there's no confusion in your marketing message. There's no confusion in like what you offer. It's clear that you focus on this one thing. And so because you focus on this one thing, you're able to get your clients a certain result. And people are very results driven. I know if I pay for something, I better get a result. I better get, you know, something out of it, especially something like getting a massage service. So I'm just going to shout out some of the people who are on this live training, and I more than likely will repurpose this for YouTube, so you may be seeing this on YouTube. One of my students mentioned, hi there, folks on an MLD. That's awesome. That's awesome that you're getting into that. You're dual licensed as an esthetician. Just finished massage therapy school and in the process of studying for the MBLEX. Yes, that is so exciting. So to get into maybe some of the the tips of how you can discover your niche. So I already covered, how I kind of dove into my niche and how I saw like a huge return after doing that, and why you may want to consider choosing one thing that you focus on. Let's see. So number one, so you should choose something that you can talk endlessly about, something that you want to learn more about, because this, whatever specialty it is, this is something that you're going to continuously get training in, educated in, do research on. If you're really passionate about something, there are ways where you can find peer-reviewed articles about whatever it is. Like, for example, I'm in manual lymphatic drainage. There's a lot of like peer-reviewed articles about that service and the different types of sub-niches in that service. Some best practices, and even just like what the industry is gearing towards today. And so if whatever specialty you choose excites you, then you're more than happy to read things like that and talk to other people who are into that particular service. And you're more than happy to invest the money to take classes on that service and increase your knowledge so that you can be that go-to provider for whatever service that it is. Second is that you want to think about, is there room to grow in this area? Is there even a need for this area? So I would say start to do some market research on if this is something that your community needs. So for me, when I started, I saw that my community needed this service, that at the time, no one was really providing this type of service that I was providing. After I started, of course, more and more people started popping up, and that's okay because I saw a need, and now that need is being fulfilled. And it's honestly good to have competition, because that's just even more reason to kind of have an edge in what you offer, or make yourself different, or differentiate yourself from other providers. Because you'll notice if you start a business, a massage business in something very niche, and let's say you see that there is a need or opening for that service, and let's say you're one of the only people providing this, lo and behold, you will start to see other people popping up doing similar services. It's just kind of how it is, especially if you've kind of found something that has a need that needs to be filled. But yeah. Sorry, reading comments a little bit. I can get distracted with the comments, and sorry if I don't answer you right away. I can still scroll through and maybe wait to the end. But some ways that you can do some market research is, number one, put yourself in the mindset of your potential customer. So if I was a person looking for, let's say, prenatal massage, because I've been that person. I've been a pregnant woman who, feet hurts and I need some type of solution, need some sense of relaxation, need to pamper myself. So if I'm that client and that's the client that you want to work with, then I'm probably going to go on Instagram, because I'm on Instagram all the time anyways, especially if I'm at home, pregnant, all that stuff. I'm going to go on Instagram. I'm going to go to hashtag whatever city I'm in. Maybe I'm in Houston, Texas. I might type in hashtag Houston prenatal massage or Houston massage therapist, and then try to find people who specialize in that. And open your mind up to this, but maybe I'm not even like really looking for prenatal massage. Maybe I just happen to be a pregnant woman and I notice, oh wait, this massage therapist, actually that's all she does is prenatal massage. And then I go to her page and everything she's talking about, that's what I need. And I go to her page and there's other pregnant women that she's working with, or people who are postpartum. So that lets me know, okay, I can go to her even after I have this child. That's just an example of kind of putting yourself in the mindset of your client and what they're going to do when they're searching for a provider like you. They're likely going to go on Instagram, or sometimes they're going to Google you. I talk a lot about how one of my biggest ways that people find me is through Google. So of course they're going to Google you, and you want to make sure that you're, the number one ranking person for whatever that thing is. You're going to want to make sure that whatever your Google profile is has keywords that point to your service. and make sure that you provide a lot of pictures and things like that so that there's no confusion about what it is that you specialize in. Because the thing about this industry, what I'm noticing, and watch, this is gonna end up becoming a trend later on, so remember I said it here first, but one-stop shops are going to be, I'm not going to say a thing of the past, but people are going to be less likely to go to them. They're going to start wanting to go to specific providers for whatever it is that they're looking for. And the different types of niches are going to change drastically over the course of a couple of years. So for example, there could be massage therapists who offer, let's say, like body contouring, and now maybe they only offer body contouring to a specific group of people. Like, that's how specific niches can get, and your niche can be as specific as you want it to be. I know a massage therapist who does more like energy work for massage and has specific specialized services for like women who are on their cycle. Like, that is so specific and so like narrowed down, but there's a need for that. There is an intrigue for something like that, especially if that person knows like who their client is. So that's what I would say. Like, think about, is there a need for this? You know, think about hashtags, Google search questions. What is your ideal client Googling, and how is that Google search going to lead them to you? That's where I would start if I was niching down for the first time. And the third thing I want you to consider is there room for growth in this niche? Is this something that your client will need recurring services on? What will be their incentive to continuously see you? Is it that they're in their second trimester and they really do need someone to see them through their pregnancy? Is this for, you know, an athlete who really, maybe their coach recommended that they get some type of massage therapy on a regular basis? Is that their incentive to see you on a regular basis? Think about your niche and what is like the continuous need. Is there a continuous need for your service? So yeah, so is there room for growth in the niche that you're choosing? Is there an opportunity for recurring services? Why would they keep coming back to you? Is there a specific problem that you're helping them solve? And if so, can you create a treatment plan for that particular problem? Treatment plans are something that are really important in my business, and this gives our clients incentives to, you know, keep coming back, and not only just keep coming back, but like to keep working on whatever problem that we're trying to solve for them. So kind of think about it like that when you're choosing a niche. And then another kind of bonus tip is you want to think about, are the people that you're working with, because this person should be kind of specific if your service is very specific. So does that person have a network that they can share your services with? So for example, the women that I work with, most of them are recovering from cosmetic surgery, and oftentimes, at least in the area that I'm in, this is not going to be the same for everyone else because it just depends on the location, different demographics, things like that. Every business is different and every location is different. But something I notice is that oftentimes when they find someone that they trust to do their post-op massages, they will refer to friends who also are, you know, getting surgery. And it's the same for other types of niches, such as athletes. Athletes often, they have a team that they like to share their providers with, their connections with, and all that stuff. And so just think about, is the person that you want to work with, do they have a network that they're already working with? Whether that's like doctors, whether that's teammates, whether that's like friends and family. So that's something you really want to think about. And what you can do, an exercise that you can do is, you know, think about who your ideal client is. You can even think about a past client that you've had, or a client that you had a really great experience with, like y'all were a really good fit for each other. Think about that same person and what were their life like? What were their needs? How did you fit, you know, the bill for whatever they were looking for? And again, my language is a little bit broad because there's so many different niches that you can go into. Like, the possibilities are endless, and I don't want you to just stick with like the basics, such as like pregnancy, athletes, energy work. There's so many different sub niches even within those niches. And to the massage therapist who is, multi-passionate, you want to offer like everything. You want to offer like massage, facials, you want to offer, all the different things, all the different spa services. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I would just challenge you to create your own special type of service, something that is not able to be replicated, something that, you create. So it's like your signature. That's what I would challenge you to do. And that can become your niche. Maybe you use cupping in a way that's non-conventional. Maybe you do wood therapy in a way that's non-conventional. Maybe you combine different types of services together and it works for whatever person that, you want to work with. But I would want to challenge you to kind of open your mind to like creating your own types of services so you don't feel like you're really limiting yourself. But I would also challenge you to consider like choosing just one thing that you want people to know that you're good at, that you want people to know that you specialize in. And when you do that, you're able to charge a higher price point for it because you are the go-to person, you specialize in this thing. And, word of mouth travels really fast. Often word of mouth does the marketing for us. I'm not saying rely on word of mouth. I would never recommend that. But that is a great tool to have in your business when you have people who are referring you to their network. So I just want to do a good little recap of some of the things that we just talked about when it comes to choosing your niche, which I do believe that massage therapists should be thinking about, especially like in this world that we're in right now, like thinking about having your niche, especially in this world where a lot of people are leaning into becoming entrepreneurs and starting their own businesses, and they don't want to just work at the franchise spas and the clinics and the chiropractic offices where they do the same types of services in all of those different places. As people are starting more businesses, I feel like the business world is becoming more competitive, and it's always going to be competitive. It's business. But consider having a niche. So some of the things we talked about is choose a niche that you could learn endlessly about. Something that, makes your job a joy. Now it's a joy to do whatever it is that you're doing. So something that you want to do research on, that you want to invest the money in learning about, that you want to, really make this your career. Think of it as a career move. Second is there a need for this in your area? Are you filling a gap in the industry based off of where you are and the demographics that you serve? Do you have the resources to do market research? So I mentioned the hashtag strategy, and I also mentioned Google search questions and thinking about complementary providers who are in your area. So that's something to think about. Like if there's a lot of, let's say, oncology specialists in your area, then more than likely there's probably a need for oncology massage. That's a very specific type of massage. Matter of fact, a massage instructor that I had, she specialized in oncology massage, and she did that business for over 20 years. And to this day, I have not seen anyone fill that gap besides her, really. Maybe I need to do more research on that, but yeah, so really think about, is there a need for that in your area? And are you able to do that market research and kind of fill that gap for your potential clients? And then the third thing that we talked about is there room for growth in that area? Whether that's your clients that you'll be working with, do they have a network that they can share you with? Like, is that common for them to have other people in their close circle, whether that's, we mentioned the example of athletes, they're going to share you with their teammates, things like that. Is there a reason for them to keep coming back to you? Is there a particular treatment plan that you can create for them so that they'll keep coming back to you? So think about those things and think about, if you're able to answer all three of those questions, then more than likely you might have found a niche that you could really grow in and see a good income in and charge a good price point for. Those are my main tips when it comes to choosing a niche. I really do believe that massage therapists should think about having one as the business world becomes more competitive. And that's just, this strategy has worked for me over the past 2 years. And so I know that if it can work for me, it can work for you, especially if you implement these three things that I mentioned. And yeah, so wondering if anyone watching, if you have a particular niche, if this is something that you struggle with, if you struggle with whittling down the type of services that you offer, do you struggle with whittling down, choosing to fill like one particular gap or one particular problem in your community? And do you struggle with like just choosing just one thing? Can you imagine just offering one type of service and actually seeing a good income from just offering that one type of service? Thank you all for, listening, and I hope that this message was for someone and that you were able to get some strategies that can help you niche down, or even consider niching down if you haven't yet. And I'd love to even, in the DMs, if you thought about this more, continue the conversation. Definitely don't be afraid to DM me about that stuff. And if you are interested in joining this cohort of SpaBizSuccess, which is an 8-week program that I host for massage therapists to help them build their business from scratch and improve it and be able to put it on autopilot and bring clients into it so that it can grow and scale, then definitely DM me or go to the link in my bio to learn more about that, and we can see if it's a good fit for you. Awesome. Well, I definitely hope everyone has a great rest of your night, and I